Okay, good morning everyone. I'm going to do some yoga with you now, and we're going to do a Vynesa flow. But before we do anything, just make sure you have enough space. We will be using the block and ball today. First thing we're going to do is open the legs nice and wide, and just from here turn out the feet towards the corners of the mat and into a sun sail up towards the mountain, and Tandasana stretch, then out breath down. And we're going to do 8 of these first. So nice deep breath in, stretching up, out breath and down. Work through the movements. Make sure the knees are travelling towards the corners of the mat. And then as you release the shoulders, feel the stretch through the neck. Pull the tummy muscles in and then release again. Each time you bend through to stretch and pull, don't forget that the spine needs to stay in line with the neck. So this is just preparing our body ready for all of the exercises we will entertain today. 2 more. And again. Now from here, take the arms to the side and then just turn gently the left knee to the side as we pulse and limber here into Virabhadrasana 2, which we've done before. I want you to hold that position, then come off, so that we're bending through the knee and releasing. So you're not holding a half position here, but working to lubricate the joint in the knee. And then we're going to change legs today and do the same on the other side, bending through and releasing. Don't forget the back needs to stay nice and straight, the shoulders in line and the arms. And then we're going to draw the legs in to stand up nice and tall. And just roll the shoulders back for me and hold. We're going to go through a series of 5 different exercises. We'll start on your knees first. Those that have poorly knees, remember, if you have a pillow or something to protect the knees, you'll need that today. I'm going to start into Namaste from here, taking a deep breath in, stretch up, lengthen through the spine and feel the stretch through the vertebrae and shoulders. Now take an out breath down, stretch through and lengthen into an extended child's pose. From here, going onto all fours, hold that position into a neutral spine there, just holding for 2 breaths. And then when you're there, encourage the front leg to come forwards, holding the hands either side of the foot, feeling the extension through the legs and gently pulse through the knee. And coming back, stretch again, extended child's pose. And then encourage the other leg forwards, doing the same. Hold again in this position for just 2 breaths. Back into full child's pose from here, lengthening through the spine and rolling through the shoulders. From here, pushing forwards, lengthening gently, hips down, into a full cobra position, squeezing the bottom together, lifting the head up, holding for 2 breaths here, then coming back into an up cow position, stretching through the back and bottom. Once you've lengthened and stretched the abdominals, change, tucking the chin in into a downward cat position, holding again for just 2 breaths. From here, extend again onto one knee, this time lifting up the back leg and pushing through the leg here and lengthening the knee, stretching and lengthening the back leg. Go back to a child's pose and then repeat on the other leg. Stepping through, coming up, stretch and hold. And then we're going to start all over again. So coming back to your knees. So lots of knee work here. When ready to Namaste, prepare yourself, deep breath in. Stretch up to Tandasana, stretch and hold. Breathe in and breathe out, 2 breaths. Going down here, lengthen, child's pose, extension or staff pose. Again, drawing one leg forwards, just hold to post on this one, knee stays down. Now coming up again, hold that position for 2 to 3 breaths. Try and lengthen the knee when ready. Going back to shell pose now. You should feel the heart rate coming up lovely. From here, go to a nice upward cow position, drawing the head and bottom up. Now into a cat position, onto the fingertips this time, drawing the head down. Feel the stretch through the spine for 2 breaths. Opposite leg forwards, hold to stretch. Lifting the back leg, hold, and feel the lengthening of the back leg. Lift up the knee when you feel comfortable, heel off the floor. Back to a child's pose, hands to heels on this one, and back to where you started, back into Namaste. We're going to do this one more time all the way around, and then we're going to do a second sequence of Vynesa flow in just a minute. So we're going to come up again, deep breaths in, stretching through to Tandasana, lengthening through the spine, down into a shell pose, head down, lengthen those shoulders and fingers. When you feel the stretch through the back, just watch the stretch there on the shoulders, walk the fingers away if you need to. Coming forwards on one leg, hold again, push forwards. This time knee is down on the back leg, pushing through your quads here to fully stretch. Coming back, let's slide through, holding into that cobra position we did earlier. Shoulders down, bent elbows towards the back, chin up for 2 breaths. Child's pose from here, lengthen and stretch the spine. Going forwards on the other leg, hold and stretch. We'll encourage that leg further forward, knee stays down. Hold that stretch again, lengthening through hamstrings on the front leg, knee on the front leg there, holding. And then into a cat position, tucking in the tummy, chin to the chest. Going back and through. This time as you come through, holding here into a plank. So just progressing with one more exercise here. Yoga plank for 2 to 3 breaths. Child's pose when ready. And back to where you were. So again, coming up into Namaste. So a nice Vynesa flow here. We're going to do another one now, where we need to stand nice and tall. Start again with the hands to the heart of the body. Stretch up to Tandasana from here, pulling the tummy muscles in and lengthening the arms. Then coming down, bringing the hands around the calf muscles and bringing the nose towards the knees. Trying to get the head down, hold for 2 breaths. Kind of hold it for 2 breaths on every stretch. Here, roll up slowly, drawing the tummy muscles in. And then from here, step forwards, just like we did on the last Vynesa flow. This time, both hands forwards into a standing lunge there. Hold there for just 2 breaths. Into downward dog, dropping the hands first, stepping back, pushing through the heels, holding 2 breaths. Once you feel that stretch through the legs, bring them further back into an extended plank hold for 2 to 3 breaths, depending on what you can and can't do. Coming down into a child's pose, releasing through the spine. Coming back on the other leg forwards, holding to lift. Feel that stretch again through the back leg. Notice here that you're supported by the front knee. Hold there for 2 breaths. Now go to a downward dog from here. Lengthen through the heels if you need to. Hold again for 2 breaths. Bring the feet forwards, hands around the calves. Go back to where you started and roll up the knees here, slowly all the way up. Take the hands back to the heart and then up to Tandasana. We're going to repeat this again. So starting here, bring the arms around the side, hands to the calves, nose to the knees, holding for 2 breaths. Feel the stretch on your hamstrings, try and get the knees straight. Feel that lengthening here, step back on one leg. exaggerate through the legs and hold, try and get the heel down, and then this time bring the knee down, hands flat on the floor here for 2 breaths. Back to downward dog, bringing the hands forwards, feet together, heels one at a time down, pedal push stretch, and then other leg forwards, stretch and hold, 2 breaths, knee down, 2 breaths, hold, hands flat, taking the hands forwards into extended plank, legs up, and then push forwards and down, tummy muscles pulled in, glute muscles together, and you may want to go up higher if the back hurts. Child's pose, hold, stretch first, and then hands to the knees or feet. Back onto the knees when ready, hands to the heart of the body, bring up the arms and step in. We go again. So I've added 2 more exercises on the second sequence. I'm going to go again, arms round and down. Hands to the calves, head down, hold for 2 breaths. Stepping back, hold to lift, stretch the leg forwards if you can for more of a stretch on the front leg, keeping the knee bent, hands either side of the foot. Drop the knee when there, toe down, push forwards on that leg. We're going to go to child's pose from here this time, releasing the leg before we repeat on the other leg. Coming up first, knee down, hands either side of the foot. Hands forwards when ready, stretch and hold into plank. Downward dog. And then this time, knees down, child's pose here. Like we did in the first sequence. Bring the hands forwards, feet in between, hands again around the calves, dropping the head, slowly roll up. Hands to the heart, up to Tandasana. I think we could do one more round. Okay, we go again. Deep breath in. Arms out to the side, hands to the calves, head down, stretch through, hold 2 breaths. When you're there, don't forget that stretch on the back of the legs. One leg forwards, hold to stretch. Maybe push the leg further back if you can, hold for 2 breaths. Downward dog from here, heels down. Other leg. Hold 2 breaths. Should be lovely and warm now. From here, let's see if we can go to plank before child's pose this time. See if you can push through to cobra. Or maybe upward dog, more progression. Child's pose. Up onto your knees. Curl the toes, hands around the calves. Slowly roll and come back to where we started. So you would have seen 2 nice, easy Vynesa flows this morning. I'm going to encourage another one. This one is standing. Legs open. Sunsala. We started with these today. 2 breaths here and 2 stretches. Out to the side, left arm, Virabhadrasana 2. We did this earlier to prepare. From here to triangle stretch. Hold and lengthen, 2 breaths. Same hand to same foot into a half moon pose, lift and hold. Turn the head when ready. Step back, stretching the front arm, lengthen into a back triangle hold. Into your balance, into a dancer's pose when ready. Draw in the foot to the hand, bend and hold, lift. Coming out, Vajrasana, turn, hold, 2 breaths. Triangle hold, stretch and lengthen the top arm. Into half moon pose when ready. Watch your balance, use the block if you need to. Coming back, stretch triangle back hold, lengthen through the spine. Ground your foot, and when ready, to a dancer's pose from here. 2 breaths. Back to mountain, sun side up. Deep breath in, deep breath out, 2 of those. We start again. I'm going to add one more exercise in here this time. So are you ready? Vajrasana 2. Triangle over. Holding forward, stretch, triangle, stretch. Coming back. A dancer's pose here when ready. And then from here, go to half moon, hard. So you just got that little bit of a tweak on those last 2 exercises, just different order, makes it a little harder. And again, we go stretch through. Triangle over. How are we doing out there? I know some of you are following me this morning. Difficult ones, these ones. Those that are on replay, you can always pause and go back to them if it's too hard. Are you ready? You're going to stretch back into a triangle here. To a dancer's pose when ready. And then from here, be careful, to a half moon pose when ready. And if you notice there, just put my foot down in case you think you're going to fall, do exactly the same. We're going to finish into downward dog from here, so bring both legs behind you. Again, walk them as far as you can and stretch through the back. Try and get the back all the way down, head looking at the toes, through the hands there in that nice easy gap. And I'm going to bend the knees. Now I'm going to make this easy. This is called up the wall pose. I haven't done this for a long, long time. But you need to go to a wall to do this. Bring the legs against the wall. Make sure the bottom is touching. Feet together, head down. And you're going to relax the body, stretching the back of the legs on a wall or here on the radiator. And I'm going to exaggerate those arms above the head. Feeling the stretch through opposites, both arms and legs there. I'm also going to point the toes to stretch my calf muscles and the front of my quads, and then bring my hands to a namaste hold above the head, feeling the stretch through the legs, limbs and your spine. Now if you don't have enough room to do this on the wall watching me, you may want to pause and replay later. Try and get to a wall where you can do this. Nice fun one to do with children if you are supporting children at home. Now open the legs into a wide split hold, trying to keep the bottom against the wall. I'm going to do the same with my arms now on the floor. So exaggerating through both legs and arms. Now obviously this is not a Vynesa flow, this is just an easy stretch here halfway through the sequences. So we've done 3 different ones today, although I changed and tweaked each one so you could see a progression of exercises in there. So if you do decide I like this one, you want to replay and do those Vynesa flows again at home, you may decide that you might want to add the harder exercises from the beginning or from the first sets. Now, some of you are more flexible, so those at home, try and take the legs even wider. Remember the bottom should still stay against the wall. Working your core muscles now, roll up and reach for the inside of the legs. My head's still facing the wall or radiator. And hold that position to work on my core muscles. Some of you might be really flexible and able to touch the toes. I'm still working on that. Another good one to do is if you want to try a headstand. It's always good to be able to use the wall to do that. Now that takes us where we're going next. So bend the knees, push away from your wall and come onto your mats. Make sure that you've got nothing under the head. From here, make sure the head is comfortable as we're going into a shoulder stand now. Now I see a lot of people attempting these on the internet. Please, please be careful. Cannot stress enough. As you stretch, the legs should be straight. Now if you get to there and that's your max, that's fine. Maybe encourage the legs to stretch here. Do not go on the shoulders if you have poorly shoulders, because this will aggravate the stretch or whatever's wrong with the shoulder. Those that are going up, we're going to draw a deep breath in. I'm going to come up slightly to roll and then straighten the legs, then push the legs away. So the further the hands go behind the waist, the better the straightening of the knees. Now here I've got perfect alignment. If I push my tummy up and in and pull the legs away, you'll find that the feet should be in line with your hips, and stay there for 4 breaths. Whatever I don't want to see this, keep the legs pushed away, working into the spine. Complete alignment from the feet to the hips. Staying there 2 more breaths. Now we're going to do a nice easy Uttanasana in that tree, upside down tree in Vynesa position or shoulder stand, taking the knee out. Hold for 2 breaths. And then change legs, turning out the knee. Remember the straightening of the leg you're on, or that's to the ceiling. Turn out the knee. And then bring both legs up again. And we're going to go to Halasana, feet above the head, hands down. Just remember the bottom should be staying still. Try not to swing side to side. Then lengthen the knees and curl the toes. Stay Halasana for 2 to 5 breaths. Feel the stretch in the spine. Now from here, split scissor the legs, taking 1 to the ceiling and 1 behind you. Remember the knees should be in line with the ankles. Now change legs and repeat again. Well done. 2 more breaths here. Go back to Settha Vynesa. Knees in, curl out and come up. Stretch through the spine. Draw the knees to the chest, straight backs here, chin forward. And then turn the head side to side slowly, stretching through the neck. Now working on your hips. Roll onto the side, elbow underneath you, stack the hips. And all we're going to do is lift the top leg, then the bottom, but don't bend the knees. Hold here for 4 breaths. Flex the heels if you need to, but feel the stretch through the glute muscles. Don't forget your breathing. Now take the top leg a little higher, bottom leg a little higher without bending the knee. You should feel it in the glutes. And then bring them down to a mermaid, so both feet together and off the floor. Hip forwards for 2 breaths. Bend the bottom knee and straighten the other leg and reach for the toe with the top arm. Hold for 2 breaths to stretch through the front leg. Should also feel a stretch on the obliques underneath. And we're going to go to the other side, so coming up, turn over. Stack your hips, lift the top leg, hold. Take the other leg off the floor. Stay here for 2 breaths. Hips forwards. A little higher if you can. Both feet together, hold here to mermaid. Well done, we're nearly there. Now roll on to your bottom And from here, curl as flat as you can. Nose is coming to the knees, hands coming under the calves, and hold to finish, stretching through the back. Trying to get your nose to the knee, hold here to stretch the back of the legs and spine. Easy, nice stretch here to finish. 2 more breaths. So not so long today in our yoga positions, but easy Vinyasa flow to start with. Feet together, knees out. I'm just going to hold that position for 2 breaths. Those that watched the mindfulness this morning, you might want to go back and listen to that at the end, which will complete your yoga this morning. Namaste. See you again soon. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.